You ask me what I'm sipping on and what are my dreams, yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, honey, it's only...
Bonjour, thanks for joining me. Today I'll be reviewing a Kelt VSOP. This was recommended to me by Richard. I want to thank him for the recommendation. Kelt is a very unique cognac house. They take their cognac after it's fully matured and they put it on an ocean voyage for 90 days. So back in the old times when cognac was shipped off to Asia, when cognac was shipped by ocean voyage to the States, to North America, the barrels would endure the ocean voyage and the changes in humidity, the changes in temperature, the salt ocean air would have an effect on the eau de vie. The fluctuations in temperature definitely make a big difference when it comes to how the spirit and the eau de vie interacts with the wood. So this Kelt cognac house is making an attempt to replicate the actual spirit that people ended up with after these long sea voyages. So this is very unique. My cognac that I have here actually came with a certificate describing all the seaports that this cognac has visited. So typical VSOP ages for 4 years, a minimum of 4 years and up for VSOP. With Kelt, I know that they typically age their spirits for twice the minimum requirement. So I know this Kelt VSOP is aged for a minimum of 8 years, which is actually closer to the standards of XO. Now after it's aged a total of 8 years and up, they take the barrel of eau de vie and they actually place them on ships and send the ships around the world. So my particular cognac here went from the port of France to Shanghai, down through the Panama Canal, through the States and back up to Europe, where it was then bottled in France. I'm very excited to try it. A very unique spirit. This is the only cognac house I know of that actually does this. So I'm gonna give it a nose, let you guys know what I think. So nice bottle here. Alrighty. Lot of rich aromas, not a lot of alcohol, but a lot of fruit forward, very rich, buttery, intense flavors. I'm getting a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon, and a big rush of dried red fruits. I'm gonna give it a taste, let you guys know what I think. Very rich, very intense spirit. There's not a lot of alcohol per se, but there's a lot of flavor. It's a very intense flavor. When you get past the dried fruits, the general sweetness of the eau de vie, I'm getting a lot of almost bitter cacao notes. A little bit of chocolate and a little bit of toffee on the end. You're certainly getting the deep, dark dried fruits, brandied cherries. It kind of tastes to me like a brandied, cherried truffle with a hint of salt, sea salt. It has a very long finish and it kind of leaves your palate salivating. I think this would be a perfect cognac for a cigar. It'd be a perfect cognac to match the intense flavors and aromas. You're definitely getting a lot of chocolate, a hint of wood, a hint of tobacco. You can tell that this cognac has been matured more than your standard VSOP. And although it's only been aged for so many years in a standard barrel, you have to keep in mind that the aging that takes place while the barrel is exposed to the elements is different than regular aging. I think that this for a VSOP is very high on my list. It's a little bit more expensive than your standard VSOP, but I think a lot more goes into this. A lot more goes into this expression than your standard VSOP. I can't imagine shipping these barrels around the world. May sound silly. I think that the difference in the flavor, in the notes that you're getting, is profound enough to merit the trip. I really enjoy this. It is definitely one of my new favorite VSOPs, and I am looking forward to trying the XO Kelt next time around. Thanks for joining me. Until next time. Cheers.
Cognac dreams, you taste so good to